people of the internet. My name is Mitsuda. I'm a forensic scientist who's a side character in a series of mystery novels, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Last time, we went next door to the Holmes brothers' old ancestral manor to question this conveniently quirky nine-fingered circus man regarding the circumstances behind our mother's mysterious death, only to find him with his head on backwards. Today, we will be investigating what the hell is up with that. As you recall, last time we were having some trouble with recreating the circumstances of the murder. But now we will hopefully be able to undo that. Okay, starting at the conclusion, we know the game doesn't want us to suspect there is a human culprit yet. I really hope this isn't locking us out of changing our mind later, but I really don't see any other investigatory paths right now. The elephant is the one responsible for breaking the gate. This is where the body fell. Lost a human. The victim was crushed quite severely, so I really hope, I think the answer should be... the man was crushed to death and not strangled like this symbol shows. That's it?
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
No. Is it a case of the answer being the one where the elephant puts the body in front of the drag marks? Because there's drag marks? That doesn't make any sense, though.
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor?
Well, I don't know how I was meant to get that from that list of evidence, but at least we got it now. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to go hunt an elephant in our pajamas. Why there is an elephant in our pajamas, I may never know. So, did the elephant leave tracks on its way out?
Hog heaven.
Signs point to no. Believe we have at this point located everything in need of
Destruction
locating.
and trampled ground.
So let's see if there's anything worth finding.
May I ask for your assistance?
That's a question I can answer.
Okay, the elephant is named Goliath. It crossed Greek Bridge and went towards the forest.
What's happened?
Okay, I know where Greek Bridge is. Let's head over this way for the moment and see if anything comes up when we arrive. Fortunately, it's not that long a walk this time. And the elephant went towards the forest, they say. There's some tracks. In olive oil.
Barged into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way?
Okay, when in doubt, just follow footprints. I almost feel like a real detective now. Don't mind me, gents. Just tracking an elephant. In the middle of this Mediterranean Isle? Caribbean Isle? Not sure, actually. My gut says Mediterranean when I was, Okay, so off-stream, I took the liberty of having Sherlock do a lap around the island, which was probably very good for his cardio, but more importantly, unlocked as many fast travel points as I could find. So hopefully that will cut down on the amount of stream time we spend just running from waypoint to waypoint.
If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy.
But anyway, during my lap, I took a few detective vision, like we're doing now, glances at civilians just to pass the time, and I did notice that cordoning is one of the traits Sherlock can deduce about people just by looking at them, and the cordoning people I saw were all light-skinned, so I guess it is Greek and not, Caribbean. But, yeah, it's not. That wouldn't be the first thing I've been wrong about today. Wabbing twax. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Yeah, I'm an elephant. Look at me. Humor. Oh, don't look at me like that. It was funny. Okay, where do we go now? Okay, so Sherlock can't swim. That's good to know. Okay, we're facing the right direction already. It was awful nice of the game not to put me anywhere near the location I actually fell down at for no fault of my own. Okay, so here's John.
Want to go for a swim?
Okay. We're here now, what do we do? Unfortunately, as a white boy, Sherlock cannot jump, so navigating this is proving difficult. We do have an unknown third party present at the scene. Hello, what have we here?
Strange. It was hung with care.
Does this pattern match what we saw on the sash or on the victim's waist? My gut says yes.
The game has escaped us, for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
That certainly is key evidence. And when in doubt, read other people's mail. Dear Theodore, I'm writing to you as a fellow islander. I value our friendship just as I value the lives of our people, although I am afraid this one-sided friendship cannot tie my hands any longer. I am being made to look weak in the eyes of your neighbors. They believe that your tree is a mockery and not a peace offering as you intended. The people are afraid you refuse to give your elephant a proper trainer, instead using your own limited knowledge to teach it. It is an impossible situation. I admit that I did think of having the elephant forcibly taken and given to Mr. Tailheart, who has shown that he is quite capable of looking after the elephant Bean, although she is female and far less frightening than your beast. Please reconsider the situation. Sir William Sinclair, Governor of Cordona. Oh ho 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 ho, what have we here? So, the elephant was a source of confusion. Well, we found the key in Theodore's jacket. It might as well do to investigate Theodore's home. Excuse me. Alright, survey I'll get in trouble if I talk to you.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
You have nothing to say to me. Fantastic. Alright, survey says... You're in. Okay, now the time has come to investigate properly. Portrait on the wall.
This young lady has a childish interest for her age.
What a doll.
Gosh, what a mansion.
I am fairly certain this is smaller than the mansion we live in, John.
I can always recognize the spirit of a true artist.
Is that an elephant tusk? Seems like a weird thing for a trainer to own. I suppose a bad history with animals could explain why he only has 9 fingers.
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened.
Alright, when in doubt, go as detailed as possible.
Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
So you saw the elephant lifting the body, but not the moment of the murder, and you heard something you thought was a human scream. That's my takeaway. Don't be rude, Sherlock. We need more testimony.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilden. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster.
Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes. With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well. Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this.
Okay, I'm hearing a tension, but not quite murder motive.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast.
Okay, where did that leave us?
I can't think of anything else right now.
A commendable effort to barricade the windows.
I'm sure the elephant is quaking in its boots.
Who's a cute bird?
Aren't you a colorful little baby? I mean, you're not colorful anymore. Fascinating. What have we over here?
She packed as much as she could carry.
Ready packing.
False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary.
Anything to be found on the floor? No. But in the drawer, look at this photograph.
Dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
If John is just a figment of Sherlock's imagination, doesn't that mean that he's already read all 3 books? Either that or he's just making stuff up. Bazookology Book 1 False Idols. Wallace de Oram brings you along on an explosive trip by the most crucial couple in the history of archaeology, Nabe and Lara. Follow the path of love, betrayal, and revenge in the first part of the trilogy of Bazookaology. Steel-muscled Nab and flexible Lara attempt to find the lost City of the Moon. However, there is a somewhat oversized monocle that has been focused on them since their journey to the center of the Earth. Dr. Madbone. Giant underwater spiders, poisonous parrots, and bloodthirsty mummies will test the luck and knowledge of our characters. Will our beloved pair of scientists survive? Find out in this first part of The Adventures of Nabe and Lara. I see why John likes it. Right? It wouldn't be easy enough to have them just be in the same room, would it?
How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I'll just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Oh, well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit.
Mm-hmm.
These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan. I can't think of anything else right now.
Right, that appears to be the end of what is available in this room. I think. Game hasn't emptied out yet.
I can't think of anything else right now.
Okay, I know we're supposed to go check out the yacht club right now. Get on. But I believe I recall on our way around finding a bookstore. There's the yacht club. That's where we gotta go. For plot reasons. Home, Founder Square, the Chronicle maybe. News, bedroll. Hey Ventus. We're making decent progress as it goes. We at least have witness testimony that someone screamed, which, as far as I'm concerned, puts the culprit was an animal theory to bed. Suppose we should probably just do plot first. Right, going to go question the victim's
I can't think of
daughter.
anything else right now.
So you say. Yeah, gonna go question the victim's daughter's boyfriend for the moment. So let's get going. Okay, we're going here. Nearest fast travel point is not as close as I would like. God, that's quite a walk.
I can't think of anything else right now.
Guess there's nothing to do but get it going. God, it's specifically because it's an optional mission that's going to bother me if I don't focus in on it. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. It's in here.
The nicest spot in the room. Mr. Gilden spent hours of his life right here.
Staring at an elephant's backside. What a wonderful life.
I can't imagine what that's like, John. Buke. Portrait.
It's nice to see her young and smiling.
Dum dum.
From before Mycroft was born. Our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the past is hereditary.
Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution.
Sherlock's parents were friends with Theodore Gilden for a long time. They lived adventurous lives, traveling the world in search of antiquities. This photo has been in Gilden's faith for decades. A reminder of fond times past, or perhaps a symbol of regret. For here... Elephant's Man, Cordona Chronicle 1875 edition. A local wealthy resident, Theodore Gilden, 55, has purchased an Indian elephant from a traveling circus. Mr. Gilden commented, "It is a wonderful opportunity. There is no one..." That's probably not what he sounds like, but I started the newsman voice and damn it, I'm gonna finish with it. There's a wonderful opportunity. There is no one on this island better suited to provide such a comfortable home for this elephant. It is a paradise for a noble creature. No longer will this animal be locked in a tent with clowns. And with you around, that's debatable. He will be my companion from now on, my second child, and I will protect him. Don't be jealous, people of Cordona. I am your best citizen. Only time will tell if this is a midsummer madness or not. The neighboring elite of Cordona are shocked to read the news and furthermore to hear the terrible trumpetings of the beast. But they are having to accept the eccentricity of one of Cordona's most powerful. Now we can all say that the richest of our island have troubles to bear too, the same as the rest of us.
His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say.
Okay. On the desk, what do we have?
A relatively functional choice to replace the finger.
He wasn't wearing his prosthetic finger at time of death. That's interesting.
Oh, the pungent stench of an animal.
Did Theodore seek some pink elephants with this?
From 1868.
I think Miss Gilden has barely matured.
And nothing unique about his cigars. 1977.
I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
So does that mean the elephant has been in the picture longer? It shouldn't. Let's go outside again. Impenetrable iron curtains. Several decades ahead of schedule. That's the way we came in. What's that in the backyard?
This is quite comfy.
Okay.
Hog heaven.
Yeah, the visuals and sound design are very good. This is pretty handily the most ambitious Frogwares has gotten thus far. I guess it's just front and back, they go in the same place. You know how houses work. Yeah, but no, I've been a fan of this company specifically since they were doing super traditionalistic point-and-click adventure games, of seeing them develop this big, lavish open world with shooting elements and such. Okay, don't actually like the shooting elements, but you know. You know who it is. Games are still good. Alright, no evidence, nothing new to show for our progress. And now comes the long, tedious work of running from point A to point B. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, dun 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 da 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 dun 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 da da da. We were merely freshmen. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me, 'cause I come from Alabama. The banjo on my knee, this is a dead end. I guess nobody cares that you can go trespassing on other people's property. Okay, long go. Excuse me. It's the yacht club. No, but it looks like the right way. Yeah. And, like, to be clear, Ventus, I don't think that was a mistake on Frogware's part. I'm just not entirely clear if the game benefits from having shooting at all. Okay, down souls. Turn on to Cumberbop Street. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And this should be the place
Do you know anything about this?
That's a question I can answer.
Yacht Club members mentioned that Paul missed the race and no one has seen him since morning. He might be in his room in the workshop to the south of the Yacht Club. Okay. I am assuming this map is northward justified, which means we should be over here somewhere. Oh, Paul, what did you do? What can we see through the window?
Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
I think there's a pretty good chance that Paul is our missing witness. The question is, what did he witness? And how much of it was his own doing? Boat shows signs of fresh
Champion's Whirlpool.
repairing.
Pools bread and butter.
Can't fit through this gap, which I hope means there's nothing to be found over there. Once we are thoroughly satisfied that we have investigated the inside of this room... This is the way we came in, right? Right. Let's go see if we can't find Polyboy himself.
Where would a champion hide a key?
What John said made me think that maybe it was a case of something to do with his precious boat, but I'm not getting any hits. That is still the way outside. It hasn't changed since last I checked. The floor is not rotating out from underneath us. if, as some ancient alien theorists believe, it matters to the whirlpool. Okay, it's one of these cases. I mean, at least the water looks nice, but I don't think that's a particularly good place to hide a small key. Okay, I keep finding things that don't amount to anything. Yes, move it, move it.
I hope
know
Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys.
I knew it immediately, they just wouldn't let me get it until I selected the correct option. Right? We're in here, what do we have to show for it?
An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these. A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs.
So an elephant abruptly goes berserk, and we find someone with drugs.
Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
To earn big, you have to spend big.
Monetary motive.
Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another.
Monetary motive. You gormless jilly wetfoot! You think you can leech off my family, steal my money, exploit my daughter? This ends today, your career is over. I shall give you one final warning, if you refuse to cooperate, you'll find yourself in deep water. Okay,
Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
Okay, very clear motive, we get it. And here's a betting slip.
An interesting place for a message to a champion.
You do not get to back out of our deal. You do not get to leave on a whim. We need to get us fresh. Something's for our party. If you have any questions, the boys will be keeping an eye on you at the dock.
Additional earnings to sweeten the victory.
Fresh leaves for our tea party. That's a metaphor. That's a criminal's metaphor if ever I've heard one. And the
Bloody
bandages. Yes, Sherlock, they are, thank you. What else do we have to show for all this? So Pearl certainly has a lot of skills that could map to him being the culprit. The question is, do we have any evidence? That appears to be the limit of what we can get out of this room. Let's step back outside and see what we can make of the place. Storage closet.
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
You should have a warning to cover your ears.
It's important to always investigate thoroughly, so do forgive me if this move's a bit slow.
We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
That's an awful lot of tea. Here we have another copy of Bazookaology.
Sails of hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word.
You know what we have to do. Wallace de Arum continues his experimental trilogy with an innovative second part concerning the most crucial couple in the history of archaeology, Nabe and Laura. They have achieved success, though their victory comes at a cost. Dr. Madbone's true identity has forced Nabe to question his life and that of everyone around him. Even Laura, his greatest enemy, is his father. His greatest friend might be a monster. A skeleton who kills for kicks. In the second installment, readers will learn more about the scientific past of both characters, how they survived for so long in the heart of the desert, and if archaeology can resurrect the dead. For after all, Dr. Madbone was only a pawn in the game of the larger threat, Sir Dread. I do have a soft spot for old pulp. I am aware that most of it is objectively trash and also vaguely racist. But that's what it's like enjoying basically any fiction made between Great Britain and, I don't know, basically all fiction like that gets preserved well enough to survive time. And that appears to be the full limits of what we can find in this room. Side quest room. For side quests. We have consequence in here. Signs point to no. That door is just painted on. This is the way we came in. Anything to be found outside? My gut says no.
Is this familiar to you?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Bro, we're right outside of that. Compass for a symbol says we've got more to investigate here. No way over there. No way over there. Nothing in here. I don't know what more to make of the place. What else do we have in our casebook? Will having this pinned let me do anything with those tea leaves in the storage room, I wonder? Yes, it will. Tea, what are you
Undeniably
actually?
psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think. A typical tea tin. I wonder what he has for biscuits.
There we go. Yeah, there's still more. But further evidence. No further evidence. But now that we know what it is we're looking for...
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
Oh yeah, they make almost all of their games...
Hands off my possessions before you lose your fingers.
That is not the
Are you
voice you
illiterate?
should have
The rules are
with that
written everywhere.
face.
Ah, Mr. Perks, the cabin boy himself.
Champion, you mean? I was right. You are illiterate. I think a couple of shiners might teach.
Oh boy, is violence
One last
happening?
chance. Who are you?
If we want to ingratiate ourselves to him, we should not bring up Mr. Gildan.
I'm Sherlock Holmes, a friend of our mutual acquaintance, Miss Imogen.
Look, you artichoke. Imogen has no friends. Except for me.
If you must try to insult people, it's better to know the meanings of the words that you're using.
You fancy you could teach a sailor to swear? Go ahead. Show me how inventive you are.
Did somebody
still,
say
Colonel.
creative swearing? I am an authority on the subject of creative swearing. But also, let's look this guy over. Sherlock, I don't necessarily think that's how that works. Okay, bandages on his arm. Yeah, you go, Ventus. That'd make this a lot easier. Okay, signs of being banged up. We know... At this point, I'm confident saying we know. Paul Parks is a woman who disguises herself as a man to achieve a higher social position, uses the privilege of men to pursue her personal goals. She uses her career in yachting as cover to smuggle goods for various gangs on Cordona. Her injured arm reflects the dangerous nature of her life. Despite her fearless exterior, she is frequently in trouble due to her connections with the criminal underworld, and yet she's earned a place in this world as Paul. I soon read to disclose to anyone otherwise. I mean, we already saw the drugs. We know she's involved in smuggling. There's no question at this point, I think.
So, a woman wishes to become a real criminal, and smuggling is a stepping stone towards that? Is there not enough prestige in yachting? Or is it easier to compete with other fools like yourself? Everyone has a starting pistol, just shoot and run.
Don't say a word. I don't know where you're getting half of this nonsense, but you're on some thin ice here that I'm willing to crack.
Damn you, Paul. I'm sick of... Who's this peacock? Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each
God,
other
here
in
we go.
non-natural habitat.
Wow, wow, wow.
But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
I regret everything. Okay, space is roll, shift is run. Where is your arm? Shit, shit. Oh. No, get off.
I
That's...
won't miss the party.
Hold still, goddamn you. Oh. Take cover, regenerating health,
I will end you.
There we go.
Don't bother moving.
Good night.
You've lost.
The snuff's ready.
Call this. The X. That is a horrible button to be using in the middle of.
I'm coming for you.
And now you're on fire. How's that feel,
I
stupid?
could miss the party.
Take a rest.
Why don't you have anything on your front?
Just die.
Don't cry, you'll live.
The snuff's ready.
Go. Take a nap.
No more crime for you until next month.
Anyone else?
Can overcome the brute now.
No, 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 no.
I could miss the party.
Take a rest.
Give him the pepper snuff. It won't work this way.
I'm coming.
Time to weaken him first.
Is that not sufficiently
I
weakened
could
for
miss
your...
the party.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of things.
No more crime for you until next month.
Who else wants some? How does that not count? Okay, I literally
miss
shot
the
the man.
party.
How does that not count as weakening
Won't work
him?
this way.
I'm coming for you.
Weaken him first.
Okay, running now.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I want to do a no-kill run,
I'll
though.
put you 6 feet under.
That is too many people for one... This is too many people for one action set piece.
No more crime for you until...
I'm gonna hurt you.
Why did you turn around?
I'm coming.
Don't... Too simple.
I'm coming for you.
Time to knock this guy out.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Give him the pepper snuff. We can overcome the...
Yeah, that's fine. That's...
Take a rest, my friend.
I'm coming for you.
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
I'll put you 6 feet under.
Crud, 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 crud.
He's all yours now. Overcome him, don't.
I couldn't miss the party.
Thanks for waiting.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Haha.
Don't cry, you'll live.
My god.
And there's no reward for risking our lives.
Paul's explanation will suffice.
Okay. Now. Where did Paul get off to?
Your fellow mariners have a strange way of showing hospitality.
They were not my friends.
Are you sure? I would rather risk my neck for someone who's at least honest and thankful.
Perhaps then don't enter someone's life and be so judgmental, pretending you're better than they are.
Then give me your perspective and allow me to see through your eyes.
Yeah, we've delivered a lot of gun punches today. What's one more?
I tried to tell you before, but your partners interrupted. Have you heard the news? Theodore Gilden is dead. Do you have anything to say?
Well, what a shock. To me, he was an angry old ogre. Good riddance. Was it Goliath that killed him? Did it crush him? Break his bones? Come on, tell me. I want all the details.
You have an unusual way of showing grief. Imogen wouldn't appreciate that. But yes, the animal could have been involved.
Weird thing to
poetic in a way,
immediately
isn't
assume,
it?
though.
It takes a beast to kill a monster. I wish I could have been that elephant.
What were you doing this morning, Miss Perks?
Don't call me that. I'm a champion. I was sailing.
The other club members told me that you missed the race this morning. Do champions not need to practice?
You've talked with them already. No, I wasn't racing. I visited the doctor after that attack on me. And then I had to honor the deal with the bandits you just took care of.
This business of yours, you should be more careful. Ruining your life at such a young age is ridiculous.
I am careful. Except for you, no one has noticed where I store the smuggled goods. If the police arrive, there's no link to me. It's common storage, not exclusively mine. I'm clueless. I don't know what this means.
You smuggle illicit psychotropes on your yacht. Not a delivery for the hospital, I'm sure.
Of course not. I've had to cut corners to earn some money. How might a person afford to pay for a yacht in an honest way? I don't know, although I'm smart. The buyers are my customers. Adults who are willing to pay for their pleasure, or weapons for jewels. Whatever they want me to deliver. Nothing criminal.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm not here because of smuggling. Have you tasted this tea yourself?
I wouldn't have been a champion if I had used it. It's just a side business that keeps my career afloat. It's quite expensive to compete in yachting. Sometimes I cut corners.
Such as fixing Whirlpool yourself?
Exactly. And sometimes I just have to pay. That's how I earn money. I don't sell slaves or take the last mangear from a poor family.
Got a point.
Between yachts, darts, and notes from bandits, I've discovered many fascinating facts about you. But this, an installment of Nabe and Laura's adventures. Why did you sully your library with this?
It's A gift from Imogen. I didn't buy it. I might have turned a couple of pages, but nothing more. I swear.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt, but your literary taste has put you on my blacklist. It seems as though Theodore Gilden hung a sword of Damocles over your life and career. Were these only words, or something more serious?
Check my forearm. Pulled muscles and bruises. Small cuts. Nothing that you could call serious.
I doubt that a man in his late 50s could wrestle you.
It wasn't him. He behaved like a rat and hired brutes. His boys tried to lock my hands behind my back, but I was faster and I escaped.
Was he so protective of his daughter, or was it your feminine secret that provoked him?
My guess is that he was protecting his property. As he saw it, he owned Imogen, and he treated her like a piece of furniture. He didn't want his daughter to be loved by anyone. What's more painful is that Theodore didn't allow me to love his daughter. Typical.
I'm not sure that your relationship with Imogen could be described as typical.
Are you afraid of a woman in trousers? Now that's typical of men.
Look what I found. A box full of darts.
Hey, that's mine.
I confiscated it. These darts appear to be filled with something. Poison? How powerful is it?
It's strychnine. Enough to instantly kill a small rodent. I haven't tried it on a human. Yet. I hope you know what you're doing.
Could it immobilize a larger animal, say, an elephant?
I've never tried, but I have wondered.
I don't think strychnine can really kill anything instantly. It's a paralytic poison. It kills by making your lungs stop working.
A charming picture. I've heard that champions do often pose with their trophies.
Cheeky. It is a lovely trophy, though. I'm sure you will agree.
What is it that you like most about her? Her naivety? Her father's money?
A somewhat difficult choice. Especially now that her father is out of the equation.
Perfume file.
I don't know what you're suggesting.
I didn't expect you to have anything to say about that. We didn't find it in her place, after all.
Imogen doesn't strike me as an industrious young lady, so I find it strange that she was busy packing up all her belongings when Mr. Gilden died. That's some favorable wind in your sails, isn't it?
Is it so suspicious that a couple might embark on a trip? I wanted to thank her, so we planned to go traveling. A Theodore-free place, without elephants.
The timing of it is suspicious, however. Your lady friend becomes an orphan and heir, and there's a planned trip directly afterwards.
An improvised romantic dinner will never please a spoiled girl. A planned voyage might. It's not spur of the moment.
Does this knife seem familiar? I didn't find it in your competitor's back, to be clear.
This knife is as blunt as your humor. It's a bosun's knife, but it's not mine. I wouldn't be so careless as to mislay my tools.
What can you tell me about the elephant?
He's smarter than some people here, including his owner. Although I feel he could be dangerous, no matter how much he's fed.
Why is that? Have you ever seen Goliath attack anyone?
Well, not exactly. But I saw it, abusing some poor tree during one of its walks with Theodore. The expression on that old ninny's face was priceless. But it wasn't funny to look at. Believe me, it was frightening.
I'm not particularly afraid of an elephant that only attacks trees. This is all we've got left. Okay. What have we learned from this? Paul's elbow injury could easily be from falling into the Gilden shed. I'd made that journey already. So it's pretty likely Paul was there at the time.
Just be quick.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
Okay, the only thing we have left to do is going and seeing what's left to question Imogen about. God, this map does not have enough fast travel points on it. Hello, Walter. You're just in time to watch me walk halfway across the island. As soon as I remember which of these doors is actually a door, not just painted on. Okay. Okay, so while you were out, Walter, we talked to the daughter of the victim who was killed allegedly by the elephant. Found out she was dating a sailor. Then talked to the sailor, found out the sailor was a woman in disguise and a drug smuggler who had a very hostile relationship with the victim, and also owned an array of poison darts. It doesn't look good for her. Oh. Okay, so we can only fast travel when we're outside for some reason. I'm going the right way. I am not. How about now? There we go, I think. Yeah, this is a wacky... Oh, we also, most importantly, Walter, we found a running gag where we can collect crappy pulp books and Sherlock will roast people for owning them. Yeah, I dramatically overshot it. Let's head back inside. Okay, Imogen, we have asked a lot of questions to your betrothed. Do you have anything to say about any of them? I didn't check this place out last time.
What's so special about this place? Another elephant?
The plot thickens.
A catchy title.
And what mystery might that be, Walter, that you are in need of
Partnership annulled with
solving?
a single stroke of a pen.
Oh,
I should
wait.
take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around.
I should know. I'm the one who suggested it to you. Okay. That's not the correct button. It's a bit cockeyed, but we can always just turn it sideways. Let's put Mr. Holmes. Why I could. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's a. That's certainly a problem for a streamer. Club animal traces, threats, pulse box. I can't walk while I've got the camera out, which is... Nah, it's fine, Walter. It's a serious concern. Can't bring the camera out while I've got... Okay, apparently one of those took.
Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. A. Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur Swift. I've seen him a couple of times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful, I really don't think Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology from my favourite book series. Oh, they are page-turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't, but perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal papers with signatures and stuff. I've nothing to say about this. I've nothing to say about this.
Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me.
Okay, chat works without VPN, but not the video. I guess it's just a technical issue then. I guess that's the better option of the two, but... Here's hoping there is a solution that does not require you to shell out for unlimited data, because that gets expensive quickly, I am aware.
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door.
I'm afraid I can't add anything useful.
And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite pungent.
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat. Father believed that it might replace traditional ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit.
Back to the Mind Palace. Okay, we have a lot of pieces and none of them seem to fit together. Okay. Mr. Gilden's business partner, she doesn't know anything else, but the project involved a lot of paperwork, which means we can probably go check the archives at... If it's a professional project, probably City Hall, not... or... The Chronicle... Police Station... Here we are. Okay. Nearest fast travel point is probably this one. The Drunken Dutchman. And now we run. Oh. I guess there's a one here now, at least. Must have somehow missed that one when I was grinding for them off
Does it look
stream.
remotely familiar to you?
Should it?
Concentrate, Sherry.
Oh, there's so much side stuff, I don't know how much of it I want to do on camera.
Are you lost, sir?
Not at all. I'm right where I need to be. I'm Sherlock Holmes, by the way.
Ursula Oni, the chief archivist. How can I help you exactly?
I need to take a look at the history of Cordona and its islanders to retrieve some, hopefully, useful information.
Your brother Mycroft told me that you were direct, and now that we've met, I can see that is true.
Someone in our family has to balance the evasive nature of my brother. Well, may I use the city archives?
You may, of course, but in return, perhaps dinner?
That's a high price to pay for looking at your archives.
I was teasing you. Pay no attention to me.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose, in a way, we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
Okay. Now, where is the actual archive room part of the archives? Straight across, perhaps? Would be most convenient for me. What's not? The Deputy Chief Archivist keeps their office locked. Here's the archive.
I'll be right here.
Let's see. So it should be recent. Mentioned legal documents. In the old city. Notice of registration. By authority of the government of Cordona, this deed registers the creation of Gilden and Swift Limited on this day, the 21st of June, 1877. Theodore Gilden is the sole proprietor and founder of the above enterprise and shall provide finances at the land known as the Roman Outskirts. Arthur Swift is a founding partner and shall provide finances and his services as archaeologist. The primary purpose of this enterprise is to perform archaeological research in the ruins located at the intersection of Bazaar Road and Arnott Street, beyond the fortification walls in Old City Cordona. The intersection of Bazaar and Arnott in the Old City. Somebody remember that? Sole proprietor undersigned hereby agrees to fund the archaeological research in exchange for ownership of any uncovered items of historical value. A founding partner waives all finder's rights and ownership of items uncovered in the archaeological dig in exchange for the exclusive rights to publication of all academic findings thereof. Signed, Theodore Gilden and Arthur Swift. Bazaar and Arnott.
With your love for archives, you would have made the perfect bureaucrat.
Old City. Narrow Weaver, Scarlet, Pearl Castle, Seto Deer. Bazaar is a Bazaar at Dawn, Bazaar and Eagle, Bazaar and Hermes, Bazaar and Bakery, Yodas, Crooked, Vizier, Cardam, Medres. There it is. Okay. Can't talk to NPCs unless I want to embarrass myself being wrong.
Have you found anything helpful?
Indeed I have, madame. What have we here? The Chief Archive's office is locked. British envoy Thomas Norton. Sorry to leave you, but I gotta go to sleep. Catch you next time. Have a good rest of your day. Good night, Walter. I hope you enjoyed my stupid game about Sherlock fighting ninjas. Zip on over to the Harbor Master's building. Look at that horse. Oh, he's so happy. Oh my goodness, what a good boy. What a good boy. Where was... Right. The murder investigation. There's no floor down here. Okay. I have to go over here. And then if we'll just swing on by... Excuse me, everybody. Much like in Legend of Zelda, we can't victimize any chickens we find. Dr. Bilal, and there's a oh my god, there's a backgammon tournament. An awful lot of fast travel points, but I seem to be very bad at actually getting them until it's too late. Don't hit the person with a cane, there are some limits even I won't cross.
From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers for...
I want to eavesdrop, but I have things to do and places to go. Steal. No. Don't ignore.
From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers for the dig.
I've heard that in order to enter the dig start, I need to be employed. A man named Aiden recruits new workers in the Old City Marketplace in the West End. He has a scar on his neck and is only for working types with a pro-British attitude. That sounds like a change of clothes. Okay, I doubt they're gonna let us change clothes out in the street, so let's head home. Head on inside. And let's see what we have in our border that will make us look more British and worker-y. Police, consulting, Victorian. It's very workery, but I don't think it's very British. Good old deerstalker is always the way to go. Does wearing glasses make you look workery? Not really. Facial hair. There's the money. So, do we want an Amish beard or do we want stubble? This looks less wrong. Get a little scar makeup on just to make absolutely certain no one recognizes us. That's not a thing that's going to be represented in-game, but it's something I'm concerned about from a role-playing perspective. Now let's... where was it? It's on the West End. West End of the Old City Marketplace District. Should be somewhere off in this direction. Now this is us leaving Old City. Goodness gracious me. Kai, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Kai, everybody, hold on. I need to leave the game for a second. Were you still... I popped in on your stream briefly before we showed up. Yeah, you were still playing Risk of Rain 2. Renyon, thank you for the follow. I'm certainly suspicious enough for it. Yes, hello Raiders! My name is Mitsuda. I'm a forensic scientist who's a side character in a series of mystery novels. And you've just rated me playing Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, a prequel to the Sherlock Holmes series. I suppose I would be polite to catch you up with what's happening in-game. So we are investigating the mysterious death by elephant of an elephant trainer who lived here on the island of Cordona. I recently just finished investigating the victim's daughter's boyfriend, who it turns out is actually her girlfriend wearing a disguise, and also had a feud with the victim, and also was a drug smuggler, and also owned an array of poison darts. Very suspicious, but you don't end an investigation as soon as you've got a first suspect. So now we're going off to investigate the victim's business partner, an architect who was involved in archaeology. And to that end, we have disguised ourselves as a humble worker and are looking for a recruiter so we can get on the dig site. And this idle panning around I've done to keep the visuals interesting while I explained all that has completely disoriented me. Let's see, according to the report we heard, we're looking for a man with a scar on his neck here in the Western District.
You and I are the economic foundation of this island. We should help each other. But I don't know what you are talking about.
Oh, that's not helpful at all. Okay. The guy we're looking for has a scar on his neck and should be here in the western end of the market district. So let's go searching. But enough about me, let's talk about you all. Kai, did the stream go well after I left? Were there any additional deaths I should have been made aware of? Perhaps? Maybe? Alright, next scar. Do either of you have neck scars? Nope. Oh, also Sherlock has an imaginary friend. That seems kind of important. There you are, you son of a gun. I'd like a job.
Might I steal your attention?
I'm not buying.
Ah, that is the thing. You won't waste a single mangir. I am a digger, you see, and I have heard of a dig site so deep it clogs your ears. I want to be there.
Why are you telling me this?
I have heard of a man recruiting for such a dig. A man with a scar, such as the one that you're hiding. And your boots are dirty with the deep clay I am so familiar with. Oh, I hope it wasn't too rude of me to point that out.
You have a good eye. And you just want to dig? Dig deep and that's it? What's the catch? Are you in desperate need of
Buddy,
money?
in a few hundred years people are going to be playing Minecraft for fun. Just let the people dig.
Dig a hole like you've never seen.
Huh. Is that so? Well, I have to ask you an important question first. Would you be fine working for Brits?
Oh yeah, I love the British. They're fantastic.
I am all for them.
Well, you say that, but can you prove it?
Oh, all of these options sound very funny. Chat? Does anybody have any opinions? I'm kind of leaning towards singing the anthem myself. But saying you love tea and expecting that to be accepted as proof that you are a British nationalist is also quite funny. Of course, only a true Englishman would love the Indian drink that's also popular in China. Or possibly the Chinese drink that's also popular in India. Sometimes I get my words backwards. Okay.
You know how much I love tea? Once I drank so much of it, my eyes turned brown.
Fine. You're a fan. I'll give you that.
I can also speak in limericks.
Please don't. You might be a little bit weak in the head, but a natural bone digger with a keen eye is what we need. Take this permission slip and go to this address. The guard will let you in and check with the professor once you're there.
Okay, we got the entrance to the dig site. Which means we need to go back to the dig site. God, for all these fast travel points. You know, it's funny, this isn't the first Sherlock Holmes game developed by Frogwares where archaeology and archaeological disputes wound up being a point, like a motive for murder.
And get inside.
Okay, okay, go in. Didn't even have to introduce myself to ya. Right, now what do we have to show for our efforts? Getting all the way in here.
Newcomer, talk to the professor first. He's the old fellow with the glasses and the plans.
Yeah, I'd like to if you'd let me go inside.
Where's the fire in your eyes? Where's the smile? I am sick and tired of seeing apathy among the new workers.
Sir, believe me, I do have the spark. I want to start work straight away. It's as important to me as it is to you.
Ah, that's the spirit. I'm on the verge of a great discovery.
Yeah, archaeology is a common enough mode. Archaeological disputes and, you know, wealthy artifacts are a common enough motive in mystery fiction generally. I just thought it was interesting that they went to this route, like, after only giving it a break for one game. Oh, it would be very suspicious to just start asking questions immediately, but I'm afraid I won't get another chance.
How did you meet me?
Don't ask questions. You'll have to find the answers yourself. I'm not a nanny. I'm a busy man who is changing the course of history.
I am ready to work.
Splendid. Do you know what I am working on?
The ivory bats. Everyone is looking forward to the grand opening.
That's why it stood out to me. Not just archaeological generally, but archaeology in baths specifically.
We are looking for
yeah, and Crimes and Punishments, the fourth case, I think third case, was a locked room murder at a archaeologically excavated Roman bath.
Anything? Always return the tools, and don't distract me unless you find something.
Sounds simple enough. Are you the only one in charge here, Mr. Swift?
Yes, I am the only one, and no one else. You hear anything other than that, it's a lie. People of your kind can have difficulty understanding who's in charge. Take a minute, memorize my face, and then get to work.
Oh, I will definitely take a closer look to memorize my superior.
Right, sir? How suspicious do you look? So he can't afford to get his glasses fixed? Takes notes. He's also got elbow bruises, but they're not as severe as Paul's. Let me always start with the hands. He's not married. Arthur Switch is an archaeologist attempting to find the tomb of Vitus Lemonius. Cordona. Vitus, the most vital lemons of all. Swift is old, poor, cannot take care of himself, let alone afford new clothes or accessories. He entered the field of archaeology solely for financial reasons. Ruse, the last chance. That doesn't sound right considering what he's told us already. He spent all his resources to locate this ancient site driven by obsession with knowledge. He does not care about his appearance, occasional wounds. This sounds more right.
I wish I could be as passionate about something as you are, Mr. Swift. You value knowledge and dedication over everything else.
It's a long road, young man. A sharp eye and attention to detail are the only stepping stones along this path. You have to sacrifice everything you love for the larger prize.
Dun dun dun.
So much in life is superficial. I wish more people would understand.
I never heard a truer word, lad. Folk will ignore what truly matters in life, and for what? Convenience.
Bold words indeed. I doubt that many scientists would be willing to support their bragging with fieldwork.
The academic world is full of restrictions. Our honorable professors are too afraid to dirty their hands. God forbid if they have a stain on their shirt. You can follow in my footsteps. You can start learning by returning to work. Show me what you can find.
Okay. So, we have two people with bruises on their elbows. But Paul's injuries were severely worse, and Sherlock himself noted that they did not line up with what he'd seen. I'm going to lean on the Paul was the one at the scene of the crime now and see where that takes us in the future. We can always switch back if it comes to that.
Take a shovel and dig.
Got it. Got it, Chief. What are you looking at? Titus and Vitus, it's been a while since I last studied my Latin. Titus and Vitus Lemonius were legendary legates of the early Roman Empire, starting their military career to suppress the riots of the Bellovaci and Allobroges. They were key commanders during the siege of Mutina and the Battle of Actium. With the new Emperor Augustus, the brothers retrieved twin swords, presumably the ones originally belonging to Romulus and Remus. The brothers served as legates to conquer the Dalmatian and African provinces and were famous for their worship of minor gods. Titus honored Iodus, while his brother prayed to Zephyrus. Not much is known about the brothers except for the description by Pliny the Elder. Titus wore the skin of a lion with its head on the helmet, a tradition he picked up while being a signifier. Vitus held a shield large enough to cover the sky, but the exact location of the tombs remains unknown. Historians know that Titus died in the spring of 10 AD, while Vitus in the autumn of 12 AD. Here we have some target practice.
School dolls.
Eerie, but effective for a scene recreation.
Oh, I want one of these. Or two.
Oilcloth. Won't fade and waterproof. Enough here to make 10 sails and more.
Got my me boss, just
Don't
complete.
touch anything here. Get back to work.
Curse is foiled again. So on the map.
This reminds me of my father's room. A plan for this whole operation.
That is generally how you do it. Titus Lamonius's tomb has been found. This near the city of Corinth, British archaeologist Sir George Griffiths has discovered the well-preserved tomb of a Roman legate general. Oh, this is a newspaper. Excuse me, I've been doing the wrong voice. Give me 1 second. Ahem. Titus Lamonius's tomb has been found near the city of Corinth. British archaeologist Sir George Griffiths has discovered the well-preserved tomb of a Roman legate. General Ed. Titus Lamonius, owner of the legendary twin sword of Romulus gifted by Augustus himself, first emperor of the Roman Empire, Ed. In an exclusive interview, Sir George has described the find as a priceless addition to the history of humankind. The entrance was found by the removal of several blocks of soil around the prominent statues, revealing the tomb. According to Sir George, the statues represent the life of Titus. A female statue, presumably a mother, holding a basket of fruit, looks to the west. Another female figure, perhaps Autumn, with a sickle in her hand, looks to the east. Sir George presumes that these statues are hidden allegories of Zephyrus, a minor god of the west wind, Ed, and the other Yoros, god of the east wind. All this being in a circle, with the statues of the two brothers Titus and Vitus. The achievements of the archaeologists have been acknowledged by the crown, so on and so forth.
I'll note it down.
That is the full extent of what we have to provide here. Okay, what else?
Let me warm my bones here.
Bum, 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 bum. We have a skull.
Swift lost his temper when he learned what happened to the statue.
Excuse me. Which statue was damaged? Workers at the dig site found a statue with a lion helmet head. It originally lay on the pedestal close to the beach, but someone kicked it over the edge. As a result, the statue broke and the pedestal remains tilted. Let's see, we just went over this. Titus was the one who wore the lion skin. So Titus is the one closest to the beach.
Working and living by the sea. What a dream.
pedestal in question.
A goddess? A mother? Someone's wife? A sickle for harvesting. The ancient Romans honored the seasons. There were 4 statues here originally.
I wonder what the 3 other statues look like.
So the goddess went here. Titus went somewhere over here. Logic dictates Vitus went here. And therefore the mother went here. Don't know when or how that's going to come up, but they wouldn't give it to us if it wasn't important. Strategically placed camera. Cannot go in the water. Shirley did never learn how to swim. Learned that the hard way earlier.
Can I ask you a question?
I like you, friend, but I can't help you.
I wish to locate some evidence of some sort. But at least we look good.
Take a shovel and dig.
Anything else over here about? Hello everybody and welcome to my gently chiseling on a stone wall ASMR stream. Now that bit's over. Comedy.
Quite daunting to see how deep the dig is.
Vision keeps getting clouded by all these NPCs I can talk to, but will not be rewarded for doing so. What's on this? Hello, 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 beautiful.
Sharpest pickaxe. A guilty pleasure of the real archaeologist. Missing your Laura, Mr. Swift?
Hey, a word about the trilogy.
Right then, you literary expert, what was so important about these books? Or did you simply need some kindling?
It's inspirational. I have a plan. Are you listening?
We're not, my Lord John has a cutting plan.
So, we catch a monkey, a langur, for example, then we extract some blood from it.
What? Why?
It will make us forever young, Sherry. Page 127 of the second book.
Oh, I am so done with this.
No, wait. Then how about we make a wax statue?
I've stopped listening, John.
See, it's funny because that actually happened in the Arthur Conan Doyle canon. Wallace de Arm concludes the phenomenal trilogy of successful adventures of the most crucial couple in the history of archaeology, Nabe and Laura. Nabe and Laura's actions have caused the Earth to split in two. The hostile environment is now full of unknown creatures, flying apes, free turtles that carried the world, and flying dinosaurs. So it is turtles all the way down. To prevent the end of the world. Oh, Ventus, were you not here for the episode where we went over this? John is Sherlock's childhood friend, and by childhood friend I mean imaginary friend. He is not real, he is just a voice in Sherlock's head. Sherlock was a lonely child growing up. To prevent the end of the world, Nabe and Laura have had to combine their scientific knowledge and develop an ingenious solution. Sir Dredd has yet to be killed, and it is only a matter of time before he returns in wrath with ancient knowledge of changing time. Will our characters survive in the past, present, and future? The chances are doubtful, but if you buy this book, the chances will increase.
Did the Romans live in amphoras? I see nothing else here.
Okay, now it's time for the important part. Time to go roast Mr. Dr. Smith about his god-awful taste in literature. I really hope Sherlock gets so angry he just completely breaks character.
Take a shovel and dig.
Dang it. Oh, Ventus, did you also speak to, for, and around the trees? Over here.
Somehow the text remains legible.
Somehow.
Let's see if I remember my Latin.
An inscription nearby the four pedestals translates to Vitus rests nearby. Beware the one who wishes to disturb his sleep, for he is guarded by the gazes of his brother and the autumn wind.
I see now. Mr. Swift didn't realize the significance of the statues.
Okay, let's put this together. If we can fit through, let's put it all together. Let's see. Okay. The sea is over in that direction. Which means that this should be Lion's Head if I remember my documents correctly. Titus wore the skin of a lion. Titus wore a lion, Vitus had a sword. Yep. The lion was closest to the beach. And I also gotta figure out which direction they were facing myself. A woman looks to the west, so Autumn looks to the east. Autumn was over here. East is that direction. It's not where I wanted to look. Okay. And one without the sickle. Okay, now did it say anything about which direction? Yes, it was Vent. Yes, it was Ventus. Okay, now where does it say anything? Between the two statues are the remains of statues of Titus and his brother Vetus. It said in the description that Titus was guarded by the gaze of his brother. Beware the one who wishes to disturb his sleep, for he is guarded by the gazes of his brother and the autumn wind. Titus and Autumn should be facing in the same direction, which is east. That appears to not be an option on the cycle. Starting their military career, receive swords, conquer the Dalmatian. Titus was the one with the lion. Vitus is the one with the shield. Autumn looks east. Woman looks west. Curious. Guarding his resting
You're not even
place.
trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Pretty secure in the knowledge that I've got the women correct.
It
There
seems
we
everything's
go.
in place. Now, let's see what this has to tell us.
Okay, so Titus's resting place was guarded by the gazes of Autumn and Titus. I already forget which direction that wound up being. Activate detective vision. Let's see if we don't get anything out of it. Yeah, so Titus is looking this way. Looking this way. So it should be somewhere in this about's direction. Looking right towards the statue of naked Poseidon. Which is conveniently covered in crosses now that I look closer. Wait, now Autumn Wind is looking out towards the beach. So we want to go this way. What have we here?
Here is your discovery, Mr. Swift. Hey, look at this.
What have you found? Don't let anyone touch anything there. Eureka! I found you, my friend.
Having successfully done archaeology, it is now time to see what we've discovered.
Don't just stand there. Help!
Oh, of course, sir. Let me just go get my shovel. Hint, hint, I'm going to go loot your desk now. Tusks and Trunks, the zoological bestseller Tusks and Trunks. Don't say zoological bestseller. Provides a most rigorous scientific description of the elephant. It is almost encyclopedic in its analysis of the creature's life both in the wild and captivity. One crucial chapter describes the elephant's mating season, in which they become extremely dangerous. Furthermore, the book features guidance on how to communicate and interact with the mammal. Certainly fascinating. And goodness me, more darts. The exact same dart box, in fact.
Against rodents of all kinds.
A personal diary owned by Arthur Swift. He describes in considerable detail his personal life and research. More importantly, he tells of a dispute between the archaeologist and Theodore Gilden over the dig site. Excuse me. Day 1224. Theodore always uses his wealth to shut down complaints. I'd rather he bought a brain with more gyrification so that he were smart enough to see the bigger picture. Not everything revolves around your darn elephant. I will have only a few months before he will commence construction. He even lacks the imagination to build something beautiful. Ivory baths, the mundanity. I must think lest our invaluable history be buried by the inconsequential.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Trying to take over my research, are you? I come here to pick up my diary, and I find you snooping around. Explain yourself.
Mr. Swift, if that were true, I would have been on my way to the newspaper. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself properly.
Outrageous! You deceived me, sir. What is the reason for your being here? Who sent you, Mr. Holmes?
Theodore Gilden's premature death brought me here.
Theodore is dead? How can that be possible?
I'm thinking of all the possibilities, and I'm not crossing out anyone who might have been involved. Even his elephant. The land you're excavating belongs to Mr. Gilden, does it not?
Did I hear an accusation? I have nothing to hide. You can ask me whatever nonsense you've prepared as a token of my diminishing respect towards you.
Very well, Mr. Swift. I appreciate your cooperation.
Okay. Do you by any chance have an alibi?
Were you at the site this morning?
Affirmative. This project is taking a lot of my time, as you see. I spend more time underground than on the surface.
When did you learn about Theodore's death?
Just now. You just told me.
And you aren't surprised, shocked? I won't tell anyone if you shed a tear or two. Weren't you partners, after all?
We were. And it is a real shame. But I've seen too many deaths in my life, Mr. Holmes, for the news to truly shake me.
Archaeology is a dangerous field.
When was the last time you saw Mr. Gilden?
A couple of days ago. We discussed the site. I believe in the tomb and its secrets. Theodore's patience was stretched, however. He was already inventing new projects. It wasn't a long conversation. I suppose that his daughter will inherit everything now, along with all of the eccentricities and problems.
And not forgetting Goliath.
Eccentricities and problems, Mr. Holmes. One of many.
Man, everyone on this island is racist against elephants.
Or are you insisting on remaining an obstacle?
Oh, I haven't even started yet.
Right?
You have a weakness for nostalgia. Or, rather, do you use it to record a list of enemies?
Young man, you need to check your moral compass. Reading another person's diary is a sin in every culture that I can think of.
But you aren't answering the question.
You've already read it. Why bother? I simply record my life to keep my memory clean from misinterpretation. Letters and pages don't lie.
But the writer of the text can.
Okay. Your own darts?
What's with this box of darts? Is it for a scientific argument?
A little darker than that. Rather for killing the kind of rodents that might nibble a nose or a toe in your sleep.
Let's just say I have to protect myself against a larger animal, such as an elephant. Might it be enough to stop it, make it faint?
If I were you, I wouldn't bank on it.
With this book, you attempted to plan an attack on the elephant?
Your insinuations are out of place. Goliath is a frightening animal. All I wished to do was to understand the creature. As any scientist would do, I researched, analyzed, and drew conclusions.
And what conclusion did you draw?
That Theodore Gilden made the animal miserable. He couldn't provide the proper environment for the beast. My interest in the subject ended there.
It does line up with what we've heard.
I'm a busy man.
As far as I can tell, you're a man of the academic world, so this book about Nabe and Laura is just an empirical study?
What? That nonsense? I'd prefer to lose my eyesight than read such trash.
So, you know nothing about it?
I know nothing. I wish I'd never heard of it in the first place, this caricature of science.
Do I hear traces of envy? You're still relatively young that you might find your own Laura.
Perhaps I envy Nabe, for I cannot simply blow people up for distracting me. That's all. You happy now? Wonderful. Moving on.
Nope.
Moving on.
What's with this intricate recruitment process? Pro-British workers charge less?
As a head of this organization, I need to secure a productive environment. It's impossible to do so if there are political differences, especially here, where the native population doesn't support our efforts to find the ancient artifacts.
Decent pay can also stimulate productivity and shut down any political discord. Hadn't you thought of that?
You're young. You have time to fritter and fight with everyone you meet. I don't have such a luxury. Our workers receive enough pay for what they do. So don't start a discussion you know nothing about.
I'm certain.
I'm a busy man. Moving on.
Appears to be...
Remember one of the rules? It seems that you didn't return a tool. Is this knife yours?
Do I look like a fellow who carries a knife? I don't need it.
There are plenty of uses for it on the site, and outside of it.
I have other people to cut ropes for me, Mr. Holmes.
Gilden's elephant is quite an unusual addition to Cordona's fauna. What is your scientific opinion on that?
No matter how much Theodore loved it, it still remained a wild animal trapped inside a stone pen. Goliath needs savannas, fields, lakes.
I'm sure that Goliath did not have a plan to kill his owner to head to the savannas. What do you think?
No, animals don't kill in a typical sense. I can only presume that it tried to protect itself from captivity, from Theodore. It was a gilded cage that was predestined to break.
So we have one suspect who actually likes the animal and one who doesn't.
Your partner had a very specific attitude towards the things he treasured. Was this habitual for him?
That would have been too much even for him. Don't get me wrong, he had a harsh temper. Like a true businessman, he was ready to burn his competitors to the ground.
But threatening someone physically would have been something new even for him, am I correct?
Absolutely. Besides, I had never seen him this angry. The fellow who received the letter must have been extremely alarmed.
Did this plan cause a rift in your business relationship with Theodore Gilden?
Nothing like that. Admittedly, we didn't share a common vision of what is more important, the past or the future. In my opinion, we can't build a future without knowing the past.
So you wanted to save the tomb of Vitus here, or perhaps your control over the research?
Only the knowledge that rightly belongs to humankind, nothing less and nothing more. Moving on. I've nothing to add. I'm a busy man. I've nothing to add. I'm a busy man. Moving on. I'm a busy man.
Have you seen this person before? The one beside Imogen Gilden?
No, but he's with Imogen, so I suppose that he's a friend of hers. That girl always has her head in the clouds. I could have said Theodore was different, but that wouldn't have been entirely true.
Away with the fairies, was he?
That's one way of putting it. Either way, I don't know much about Imogen's life or her friends. The type of elite that pretends to be educated.
Okay. Key evidence collected. All evidence collected. Well, looks like we're almost done here. Now that we're... Hold on.
Be swift.
Because I get it. Well, before anything else, let's head home and get out of... Let's go back to the main world map so we can actually change clothes, so we can actually fast travel. Now let's head home. Get out of this silly disguise. There's the ruins. Here's home. Right? Let's put our normal suit back on. Why did they make him so pretty? Okay, now then, what can we deduce? Sherlock, please don't say exploiting his lust ever again under any circumstances. Okay, there's the limit of our deductions. Now then. First order of business is to grab that perfume so that we might brew up. Anybody yelling at me? Okay, the first order of business is to head out and grab that perfume so that we might synthesize some elephant bait. Not what I was expecting to do when I got up this morning, but life comes at you fast. Okay, perfume. No, it was on the other table.
She packed as much as she could carry.
It's chilling to think the monster is free.
Right, where was that damnable perfume bottle?
Who's a cute bird?
It's in here somewhere. Wait a minute, do I? Hold on. Yeah, I forget how to play my own games. Okay, I switched to normal difficulty after the previous round, so we should be good. Yeah, just straightforward addition. Alright, that's ever so slightly patronizing game. Man, there's just no in-between here. Just absurdly difficult or literally just single-digit addition. Okay, there's fabric at the dig site. Foghorn from the boat vessel can attract elephants. Got it. This would be so much easier if Sherlock was carrying an elephant gun. And then again, if Holmes had an elephant gun, we couldn't shoot anything but elephants. Dun 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 dun. The foghorn was in the storage room, as is logical.
It might fool an elephant.
And now the dig site. It's a bit of a walk, but at least we're getting our cardio in for the day.
Stop shirking. Get dressed properly and come inside.
Oh, you're gonna make me do this, aren't you?
Stop shirking. Get dressed properly and come inside.
And they're not gonna let me change outdoors. Are they? Okay, that's don't particularly understand what just happened from a
Stop loitering and get inside.
in-story perspective, but at least it worked. And where's the fat?
Be swift.
This fabric will work.
Mrs. Nini seemed to know her sewing inside out. I bet she missed us.
I hope Miss Nini won't misunderstand me.
Okay, and another step. Now we have to go visit Atelier Nini, the alchemist of Cordona. And get back. Okay, which of these was Nene? I really hope I'm right about this. I'm pretty sure the one here was Nene's. Intersection of Knights Road and Trinity Bay. That's not the intersection of Knights and Trinity. LeBlanc, Baskerville, Sauls, Finet, Bonaparte's, Knights, Harbor. There we are.
He's even been putting up posters. Poor man. Losing it may be the death of him.
This is going to be a side quest, but I might as well grab it as long as we're in the area. A violin, you say? Got enough about that. We have a main quest to finish. First...
Good day, madam. I've come to you with a special requirement. The tailors on the street can't help me, I'm afraid. Could you make a doll for me?
Oh, Senor Holmes. You taught the police how to do their job, and they found the thief. Of course I will help you. But what sort of doll? A child's doll, such as my great niece might play with?
A little larger than your typical doll.
Signore, I don't understand. Boy, girl, animal, and what color?
Animal, a passionate, perhaps amorous animal.
Ah, Signore, you talk in riddles. I am an old lady who's seen it all. Tell me what you need.
I need a life-size elephant.
I think Mrs. Nini outdid herself with this one. Is that a tail?
That's a trunk, John, but I must agree with you that it's her masterpiece.
Well, let's not waste any time.
I accidentally put on the wrong suit. I like the one with the jacket. Now then. Now I've got to go to Gilden's yard. They're running us ragged out here. That's the forest clearing. Here's Gilden's yard. Put down the compass mark. Fast travel. Fortunately, Gilden is our neighbor, so it isn't too difficult to run on over. Which is more than I can say for some of the walks this game makes you do. Go around by the yard. Coal gas furnace. I remember where that was. I haven't not been in this place in 3 days.
The game is on.
So, what's the plan? I hope it all doesn't go horribly wrong.
We know that the elephant is seeking a female. We can arrange that. A doll with the appropriate scent might do miracles.
So you're a marriage broker. Well, I suppose that makes me a groomsman. Oh, she is a bit breezy, I must say.
Well, Goliath is eager for a single female elephant in his area.
Hot single female elephants in your area.
Are we ready?
It's the perfect cry.
We're ready. Let's call the elephant.
Oh. Oh. Oh, the possibilities are endless. You can't go straight in, chat. This is Love Guru Mitsuda's special advice from me to you. You can't go all in with the man you like. You gotta lead him on a little bit first. Okay, that's not what I meant, Sherlock.
How could anyone resist?
Nope, this is... Wait, did we already exhaust our supply of pawns?
I knew a lady once who said just that.
Chat, I hope someone is clipping this.
Take your time, Sherry. That deserves a slap. And then a kiss.
Yeah, I do.
Here's our lovesick friend.
Aw, wasn't done yet. And so, having successfully committed marriage fraud against an innocent animal and gotten him arrested for it, Sherlock Holmes resumes the investigation.
Why are you bringing it here? I won't allow you to leave it.
I assure you that it is only a temporary measure. It won't be long until the elephant is gone, I promise you.
Right? Now, what do we have to show for it?
It injured itself while running through the forest. Peaceful and compliant, almost a gentleman.
Is that what that eye looks like to you? Most importantly...
A feathered fletching.
Don't accidentally poke yourself.
In the needle. This might be promising. The left tusk is larger and more worn. You're a left-tusked elephant.
Alright, now you're just showing off. Time to do some more science. Traces of strychnine inside of it. This amount could kill a human, but was not enough to topple such a large animal. It most likely aggravated the elephant, causing a fit of rage and a burst of strength. Well, I can't say there's anything particularly surprising there. I think it's pretty obvious that Goliath was the one who did the provoking. Or was provoked, rather. So both of them could have done it hypothetically. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So... So it seems equally possible that either of them could have done it at first glance. Chat, if you have your thoughts, sound out now, but here's what I'm thinking. Arthur's injuries amounted in their entirety to a small bruise on his left elbow. Not particularly what I would expect from an attack by an elephant. Paul was significantly more banged up. Paul also has a stronger motive given that the victim was threatening her specifically. Plus, it's more suspicious for them to own darts for quote-unquote rat control than it is for someone who works outdoors all day. I'm leaning quite heavily towards Paul being the one who killed Theodore Gilden. If anyone has any objections, speak up now. I'd also like to say that if the alternative is executing this perfectly innocent and quite frankly incredibly easily manipulated elephant, I'm not letting Paul go. Not seeing any alternatives, I think we're ready to make our arrest. Yes? Dr. What's-His-Face was the one with the one with all the elephant-related know-how, because he had that big book. I think I'm overthinking this, and that we should just go make the arrest already and there's nothing else to be discovered. But, just in case... Not allowed to cut through this shortcut, it's unfortunate.
Stop.
No.
I forgot I left some stones unturned. I have to leave.
Well, we've made our peace. Time to make the arrest. Okay, suit with jacket. Take off the hat. Am I even going the right way? I am. Right, time to put this case to bed. I wish it was easier to make animal puns. What?
I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means.
A. Swift, are you familiar with this name? The gentleman had business with Mr. Gilden.
Likely just another strange and wrinkled fellow like old Gilden was. Perhaps this Swift person has a rhino, and they wanted to see which pet was stronger. In other words,
Chan, I'm really sorry to do this to you in the middle of the climax, but I have to go for like 5 minutes. I will be right back, I promise.
You have an interesting imagination.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Sorry to spring that on you. Yeah, Jito got up to some pranks with the blood samples again. I gave him a good firm talking to. But enough about that. Let's arrest this woman for murder and attempted elephanticide by proxy.
Did it feel good killing Theodore Gilden after the humiliation and threats?
What? I thought you were blaming Goliath for that.
No, I think you killed Theodore Gilden. Goliath is, unfortunately, a victim of circumstance.
I'm far better than to kill Gilden. Believe me.
I can understand why you killed Mr. Gilden. He saw you with his daughter. He checked up on you, yachtsman, smuggler, and a woman. He went so far as to hire some thugs to attack you. Theodore knew your weakness, your career. He forced you into a corner. You're a survivor. You were prepared for the worst, but Theodore surpassed even your worst-case scenario. So you responded accordingly.
I've earned everything myself. Every victory, every trophy, every mangir. I achieved all of it without murder. I don't need to kill in order to win.
And you weren't afraid that he would reveal your secret to the owner of the yacht club or your competitors?
I can control my fear. Trust me, I wouldn't have become a professional athlete otherwise.
You were at the crime scene at the precise moment when Gilden died.
I was not. I was visiting the doctor after the attack on me.
Ah, of course, where no one saw you. That's an inconvenience. But in any case, the person who was there met the rage of the elephant. One was struck by the gate with such impact that they were thrown into the shed. The knife fell out. The bruises on your
The knife was specifically a sailor's knife. That was another thing I had in mind. I just forgot to say it out loud.
I heard you, but you didn't catch my words. A bosun's knife was found there, a very specific tool commonly used in your field.
That's only your assumption. I was never there. I mean, I was, but not when this happened.
Fundamental rule of accusations: always save the bulletproof evidence for last.
You see, I managed to capture the elephant. Goliath had a dart stuck in his hide, similar to the ones that you use to kill rodents. My guess is that you used Goliath. A dart can kill a mouse or human, but for an elephant it's not enough. Strychnine is a powerful stimulant and convulsant. Once the drug was in the bloodstream, Goliath became extremely agitated and so blinded by the flow of energy that he killed his owner.
And my dart is responsible for that. I'd rather use my hands.
Yes, there would have been fewer variables, but after the attack on you, your condition didn't allow for a direct confrontation. So, you used what you had.
That's not what happened. Anyone might have the same set of darts as I do. They're not expensive.
But not everyone knew Theodore and had access to his property.
I'm not letting Goliath take the fall for something he didn't do. Sorry, Paul.
I revealed many truths and lies concerning Gildan. One banal fact is that he was a bitter and angry man who acted according to his own desires and impulses. Such people are dangerous, they are unpredictable, and value their own comfort more than anything and anyone. The same as you, Paul.
Are you out of your mind?
You're a gambler, smuggler, and actor. You indulge your self-importance. Such egocentricity and impulsivity is frightening. I won't allow you to play with someone else's life. You are under arrest.
Wait. At least tell Imogen. Tell her where I am.
I think she deserves a space without you. I've heard you can gamble on racing in prison, only it's rat racing. No yachts. Goodbye, Paul.
Why did you pick my Paul? Out of all the people on this island. Just when I needed someone I could rely on.
Believe me, I saved you. I found the true murderer. Would you really choose to live with the person who took your father's life?
You took away the pillar I was relying on. Paul was my only hope. You've destroyed it.
It was Paul who destroyed it, not me. I was merely the fact-checker who discovered the real culprit. And now about that elephant.
Oh yes, Goliath. You did nothing about it. I had to deal with it. Fortunately, there was a real man wanting to help me. He agreed to buy Goliath and relocate him to his property.
I suppose I must congratulate you.
I'd rather you leave. But first, here are my father's belongings. Some of them have information about your mother. Take them and leave me be.
I appreciate it, Miss Gildan. I assure you, I only wanted to find the true perpetrator.
Perhaps. Or perhaps you found a convenient scapegoat. Goodbye.
I truly hope you meet more honest people in the future. Take care.
That was the end of the case. Left a much worse taste in my mouth than the last one. Okay. Now there's all of our evidence. We now have the option of doing further investigation on the main case of our mother's death. Hooray, we completed the case. But I think that's an investigation for another time. I'm going to call it the stream here. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it very much. And if you all are feeling up to it still, I already have in mind exactly who I want to raid. Okay, good, they're still live. PolyAlphaNet is currently streaming Pokemon Yellow. If anybody is feeling up to it. I enjoy our talks together too, Kai and Ventus. Thank you both for showing up and keeping me company through this wonderful, incredible game. So, okay, we will be raiding PolyAlphaNet. They are playing Pokemon Yellow. Please treat them with all the courtesy you treated me. And I will see you all on Thursday. Goodbye.